Hi, LC Valley, and actually Clarkston in particular. So, I'm Jesse, and I have something for you. I just found out that Clarkston has changed its procedures when it comments from the public. Now, apparently, they want you to sign up for it, and you'll be allowed to speak during the city council meeting. My question to that is actually, it's a lot of questions to that. Is that legal? And I actually looked into it, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm just keep that in mind. But I want to bring something to everybody's attention. There's a couple different things. First of all, can a mayor change the guidelines for public speaking? And in my opinion, no, she cannot. And not without the city council voting on it and then also keeping within the guidelines of what state law says in RCW. I recommend everybody showing up that can. Go to city council meeting. It's at 7 o'clock tonight. One of my main concerns in this is called the City of Clarkston Guidelines for Public Comment. One of my biggest things that I take note to is number 7 on here. Speakers shall refrain from comment or behavior that involves A. Disorderly speech or action, name-calling or personal attacks, obscene or indecent remarks, and personal derogatory comments. Now, we need to keep in mind what this means. Speakers shall refrain from comments or behavior that involves this. Now, they'll have the right to remove you from city council if you are disorderly, right? If you prevent the council meeting from taking place, or you're interrupting it, or you're preventing somebody else from speaking. By all means, you can say whatever you want. It is your First Amendment right. You have the right to question and say anything you want on your opinion to a council member. If a council member is doing something that is not good and not right and against her constituents, then you have the right to speak up and call that out. It is your right. For them to say that you cannot name call or personal attacks. What is name calling and what is personal attacks? If you are speaking a truth and you are saying so-and-so did something, so be it. That's not a personal attack. That is called speaking facts. So if you are name calling, I'm just going to say it, but you can call names. How many videos have you seen? Freedom of speech. If you are explaining to it, in my opinion, you're a B. In my opinion, you're an A. In my opinion, you're an F. It's my opinion, and you have the right to speak your opinion, and to make it seem like if you are if you object to what a city council member says, or if you go against them, or if you have any kind of opposing view, you're not allowed to speak it. That's not right. You are allowed to question. You're not allowed to personally attack. You cannot say, I'm going to hurt you. You can't say, anything like that. No threats. Those are truths. You cannot do those things. But you can call them a B if you want to, because if they're acting that way, you call them out. Now, in number 8, it does say, any person who engages in speech or actions as described in section 7A, when such speech or action disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of any council meeting, may, at the discretion of the presiding officer, be barred from further attendance before the council during that meeting specifically. Now, I can understand that. If you're not up at the podium to speak and it is not your turn, you're guaranteed right to speak when it's your turn for that 3 minutes, and you're doing it outside of that time, then you do deserve to be removed from the council meeting because you're being a disturbance. But when it is your time to speak, you can speak about anything you want. For them to sit there and say that you can't talk about subjects or topics that is unconstitutional, that is not right. It is illegal. They cannot stop you or prevent you from speaking on subjects. The RCW 42.30.240, and you will find all this information in there. This publication mixes those things up into a way that you would interpret it that you would not be allowed to speak or speak up against anybody, and that is wrong. So also having to sign up in order to speak, that's pushing it right there. That's not reasonable accommodations and guaranteeing that we have a right to speak. So stay tuned, and you're more than welcome to come on down and join. Peace.